him up. Touch him up.
And our text voting results, how about that? It's been very respectful throughout up until that moment. Said he's going for the spectacular knockout. Well,
Juarez being more aggressive early in this fight than I think.
Their careers both excellent counterpunchers. If you miss Mark, hit him anywhere. Here's that stiff jab. Marquez has been more hittable of late. Keep that in mind, perhaps. Stinging right, vicious left.
Both men have been more offensive. And there's the jab again of Juarez. So Marquez, jabs could open up that
eye of Rocky Juarez. In the opening round, his blood streaks down the left side of the face of Juarez. And irony with all the concern about the scar on the things beginning to heat up early. Juarez continues to come forward. The bell to end round one. And they'll
Ferraro believes caused the cut and is in fact what will cause the cut. Clearly there was a banging of heads. There we go. There's
a stop by an accidental headbutt before the end of the fourth round. It's ruled a championship. Longtime cutman Ray Ontiveros.
Lose this fight if it stopped within the first 4 rounds. But now
roaming at this point. Even as he,
if you're Rocky Juarez, honestly, you want this a loss.
Yeah, after the end of the fourth, they go to the score
very well here in this second round.
Juarez coming forward with the jab, sending Marquez into the ropes moment. Juarez said, my job.
Rocky Juarez to throw a lot of punches, not single shot. Juan Manuel Marquez is picking up the pace dramatically.
Marquez continues to land with that jab. And
in terms of still using his jab a lot, that's important for him. Score.
Round 2 in the books.
And Marquez blast heads, and it really was no one's fault. Juarez,
pretty deep gash, and it's in a bad spot, Al, right over the left eye.
Juarez, and rightfully so. You need to put more in.
It's not direct.
Cut a moment ago by Marquez.
He's got to throw combinations, not just the left hook. Respond as well off combinations, right?
No, that's what freezes him if you throw one.
So let's see if Juarez. Just the jab.
Juarez, a fighter who had work tutelage, they thought their big issue is that cut. Beautiful body shot by Marquez, like his brother.
Juarez coming up short with the right hand.
It's really a mission statement for him to see himself against the other icons. And Marquez,
he is bleeding profusely. Wild
with a win over Barrera.
And that
body puncher. Look at the leverage he got on that.
Well, Monsivais closely examining the. And this, of course, a key round because Juarez. Here's that beautiful jab setting up the right hand.
Really been Marquez who's been throwing more punches to Juarez, and a recurring criticism. It is
all 3 losses by decision. 2 to Barrera.
Observed in the amount of punches he threw.
So an early
his losses to Barrera is bothering him here tonight, even though Marquez isn't giving him lateral movement.
Some of it is going into the eye as well of Rocky Juarez. Bell with a minute to go, an inadvertent bell out. Albeit early, this fight's official and a no decision.
Well, if you're looking for signs, it would have been stopped. So very difficult for night
when you don't even get a full round.
Do that is to not just use that jab, but to.
An eagle with the flags of forward. The cut opens up once.
Can target that cut, and it's creating a monster. And while
we're there, press row. Our score is
now. I gave the first round to Juarez, so I have a 3 rounds to 1 from Marquez.
He's accurately punching to the damaged
Juarez's demeanor. He's throwing some combinations.
We're in over now. Give him credit. Marquez missing just before the bell with the right hand.
Does it now? There, very good left hook by Juarez.
Ronnie Shields, the trainer of Rocky Juarez. That
match, and his other loss was in an interim title against Rocky Juarez with yet a.
But Rocky fights on. Even has a son named Rocky. The Rocky Marciano in the very first round, making this with the left hand by Marquez.
Tonight, as he always does.
Juan's brother, Rafael, for each brother to watch the other.
Some very nice left hooks now, and he's actually fighting.
Juarez sent back the champion. Left hook off the top of the...
See, there's Juarez with a couple of punches.
Juarez looks like something out of a Hollywood movie, a bloody mess. He is so punishing as a counterpuncher, Marquez. The blood coming down the left side of the face, going over to...
Impressive, and you see the combination punching from Marquez. Use that left hand. Three-punch combination. You can't do better in a corner than Ronnie Shields. Not just because you do better than Ronnie Shields is doing in that corner.
And you can't do much. Just a close decision once to Sugar Ray Leonard at the 19th.
Some ways for Juarez.
Rounds
took land a couple of rounds ago by Juarez. It didn't move.
Juarez missing. Marquez showing some terrific.
Marquez.
Unofficial. Oh, by Marquez that connects.
Just losing one round in
the left hook.
Combinations and hooks like that. Maybe cut by Marquez.
And if he does get on the inside, there's... There's a beautiful left-right unless Marquez is just taking a bit of a breather.
A lot of fights over a long period of time, but...
By the right glove of Juarez. By trainer Ronnie Shields. And he's got that nasty cut to contest.
Beristain, his well-regarded trainer, is executing beautifully tonight.
Fighters from one-dimensional brawlers to...
Because then he lets his hands go. He rips those shots, hooks to the body, and
hit him with anything.
Juarez weight 126. He's only had 2 fights at super featherweight. Maybe doesn't have the power in this division.
And what do we see out of that left eye right now?
That's the punch he's been looking for, and that could change this fight.
All 3 losses, as mentioned, by decision.
And you know what's interesting about this? Rocky War.
Oh, beautiful counter body shot, left hook by Marquez. You nailed it when you said the words "just fighting angry" right now. Great exchange there at the bell.
How he split the defense of Rocky Juarez. Now, even firefight. There were some punches landed by both men in the fight.
Are we seeing a subtle change? Juarez with more confidence.
Terrible cut, fighting one of the most skilled boxers on the planet.
We are probably seeing an example of that. Unofficially, press row still. Rocky on the inside, and it's Marquez who...
Marquez, because I gave the first round to Juarez and everything since... You know, he figures out ways to control.
Now by Marquez, it's finding an opening. Marquez comes forward.
Maybe a little more of a fan-pleasing fighter. He's always great.
And very popular in Mexico.
Juarez lands yet another hook, but it doesn't move Marquez.
Boy.
Sided in the scoring, but it's a good boxing match.
Juarez trying to come back, missing with the left hook. The bell to end round 9.
Question, but you see the combination punching. That's what Ronnie Shields has
been able to score in the last couple of rounds more frequently.
Juarez in the ring against 2 icons. Their first fight several times. Maybe part of the answer here is this Super Rushmore.
Forward, the jab, not scoring. In the corner, right
forehead of Marquez. It didn't. Instead, Juarez got the worst of it.
Elusiveness. Body shot with a left hook.
In almost all these rounds, even the rounds in which Juarez has. And again, it's the combination punching of Juarez.
Just a tad. Beautiful work by Mark.
You know, you can't help but say, what if? And the what if is excellence, as he always does.
A fighter who just can't see. Unbelievable. Leading to stop the ringside physician there again. He said no, because he's so way behind anyway. I mean,
cut could create serious injury.
Yes.
You know,
Rocky Juarez. Let's hope this doesn't affect.
Doctor's going to have to make that determination.
I mean,
as you point out, the point of diminishing returns for a 7-year-old who could walk in and fight for a featherweight title against that future, and maybe you want to think about protecting that.
I would say that. So sure, this fight should go on.
That's a valid point, and he's shown no signs. He has so many of the others. Still throwing good punches and win by knockout. How could it happen?
I mean, I give Rocky. I'm sure even in the mind. Left-right combination, uppercuts, every low blow by Marquez. Bobby Ferreira, he didn't see it. Right hand at the bell.
That last moment,
somebody has to stop this.
You know what? I was loath to jump.
It's clearly academic. Marquez, he should just stay away, don't you think?
Well, of Juarez, but and we'll see. Maybe he'll make the feet. And you can tell Marquez is a little bit in his prevent defense.
That we have seen such guys as Iran Barkley.
He closes in on yet another victory.
Doesn't look likely, but in boxing anything goes.
As much of an impact. And there's Marquez with a double uppercut.
Flurry. Now missing by others. And the chance of
Marquez, of course, campaigning for a rematch with Manny Pacquiao, a marquee fighter who, against maybe a
different chance, because you don't know if he's going to step up to 135 in terms of heart and guts. Marquez finishing with a flourish.
Left hook, kind of move his head in.
110. Judge Bert Clement scores about 100. Still the WBC Super Feather.